it's Lauren here from Waking with Wellness. And in today's blog post, I want to talk about how yoga can be helpful for anxiety. Now, anxiety is something that so many people struggle with. We are living in a very stressful world where many of us are overworked, overburdened, and feeling really stressed. And so yoga provides lots of different tools to help with anxiety. And the first thing that I'm going to focus on for today's video is the breath. So why is the breath so powerful? Well, if you've had anxiety, I mean, all of us have anxiety, it's just part of being human, but if you're someone that struggles with it a lot, or you have experienced panic attacks, you'll know that when you start to feel anxious, that the breath is one of the first things that starts to go. So when we just think about worrying thoughts, it can set off this stress response in the body where we get this release of adrenaline to kickstart the fight or flight response in the body. And that's often characterized by this really rapid heartbeat. And then what happens is that we start worrying about the what's happening, which makes it worse because our body thinks, okay, something really bad is going on here, and so the body then keeps up that stress fight or flight response, which exacerbates the heart rate, and so it can be a really vicious cycle. However, the great thing about this really close relationship between our breath and our mood is that it's a two-way relationship. And so our breath is so powerful at affecting how we feel. And there are lots of neurons that travel from the lungs through a nerve called the vagus nerve up into the brain. And that tells the brain basically if we're safe. And so when we're feeling stressed, these signals go and the breath gets very fast to prepare us to literally fight or flight. But when we can use this to our advantage by actually controlling our breathing and slowing down the breath rate, then it has the opposite effect on our nervous system. And so there are different ways that we can do this in yoga. So different breath practices, which if you're familiar with yoga, you'll know are called pranayama. And so the main kind of breath practice that we start with, it's something that we start in the first week of the 8-week course that I run, is focusing on just breathing deeply. So breathing into the belly. And so what I'd like you to do just for a moment is just to experience this and tune in for yourself. So just maybe closing your eyes for a moment, just roll your shoulders up, back and down. And just feeling that contact between your feet and the ground, wherever you're sat. And just start to become aware of your breathing. And just place one hand on your chest, one hand on your belly. And without trying to change anything, I'd like you just to notice where you feel your breath the most. So do you feel it more in your chest, or do you feel it more in your belly? And then just see what it would be like to start to deepen your breath, so that as you inhale, you feel your belly really rising, so you feel that contact between your hand and your belly. The chest can rise too, but also just having that intention that you can just breathe a bit deeper, as if the belly expands like a balloon with every breath in. And just take 5 breaths like this, 5 full deep breaths down into the belly. And then gently release. And so this belly breathing, this diaphragmatic breathing, really helps lots of different parts of our nervous system. So it helps to slow the breath rate down. So when we're breathing really deeply, it helps more oxygen to get around the system, because more oxygen can get to the deeper part of the lungs. And it also slows the breath rate down so that we're not breathing in so much, and we're helping to literally calm the nervous system. And when we slow the breath rate and deepen our breath, it helps to kickstart what we call the parasympathetic nervous system, which is that rest and digest state of the body. And so breathing into the belly is a really good cue. And so I invite you just for today and for however long you can, just to really start to have awareness of this. How am I breathing right now? And how can I use my breath to calm my mind and calm how I feel? And I teach this a lot in my courses, and it's amazing what people report when they start working with the breath. It's so powerful. And so I want to teach you one other technique today, and this is a type of breathing called the Ujjayi breath. Okay, so this is one of the basic pranayama breath practices in yoga, and it can help to really get that sense of deepening the breath and slowing it down. And because it has a gentle sound to it, it provides an anchor. So this breath you can imagine doing by placing your hand in front of your mouth, as if you're misting up a mirror with your hand. So imagine your hand is a mirror, and that sound you'd be making would be like a okay? So just doing that a couple of times, misting up your mirror. And then the Ujjayi breath is exactly this. It's exactly the same muscles in the throat that we're using, but the mouth stays shut. So it's like and I'm not sure you could even hear that because I'm outside and the birds are singing, but really it's just getting in touch with that very slight contraction in some of the muscles in the throat. And really that's helping then to steady the breath out and to create that natural lengthening of breath. So when we do this, it helps again to calm the mind, and because the breath has a sound, it provides an anchor for us. And so using this Ujjayi breath, so first of all just notice your breathing, start breathing into the belly, and then use the Ujjayi breath to breathe in and out in this way, and that really helps to calm anxiety when you start to feel anxious. And I've had 2 people recently, so who've done my recent courses, who have both gone in for health checks and who have been in situations where they have felt very anxious or claustrophobic, panicky, and the Ujjayi breath has really helped them to notice that they're kind of starting to get into that state and to really come back out and calm them down. And I hear people telling me stories about how the breath has really helped them all of the time. So that is the message of this week. Don't underestimate the power of breathing. We can all benefit from breathing more deeply, and use the Ujjayi breath and the belly breathing to help you to find ways to take a bit of time out and to calm your mind and nourish your body. Okay? And I will speak to you soon. Bye.